Obviously, education and certainly university education is hugely important to the Liberal Democrats. Traditionally, probably the party of the student population. Obviously, there's been talk recently about dropping that pledge to abolish tuition fees if the Liberal Democrats did get to power. Is that a decision which is very difficult for somebody like yourself to make?
Yeah, we're not dropping it. All that we've said is this is our policy. It's a policy we believe in. It's a policy I believe in. I mean, I speak to students day in, day out here in Sheffield who tell me what a blight it is on their lives, not to be able to pay their own way and come out of university with this great, heavy weight of debt around their necks. And at a time when the economy as a whole is being submerged by debt, it's daft in the extreme to produce generations of young people who've also got debt. I mean, more debt is not the answer to debt. The only issue around our policy is its affordability. This is an expensive policy. It costs about £12.5 billion over a park. So all we're saying is that because there's so much less money to go around, because money isn't growing on trees, we are going to have to sort of review how we would pay for it and over what period of time. And that's what we're doing at the moment, and I hope very shortly, within the next couple of months or so, we'll be able to provide a definitive answer. But I think students want to be treated like grown-ups, not like children. All students know what all of us know, which is that we're simply not able as a country to afford everything that we have done in the past in exactly the same way, at exactly the same pace. And that applies to this policy as much as it does to anything else. So the policy's there, the commitment's there, the pledge remains. The only question mark is the affordability. That's what we're looking at the moment.
And how long will it take you to look into that? Will we know by the next general election?
Oh no, I hope we'll be able to make an announcement by Christmas. They're around, let's say by the turn of the year. Oh yes, absolutely.
Let's talk about access to actual university education. Obviously at the moment there is a massive problem, particularly in the north of Sheffield, with getting young people to access higher education from poorer backgrounds. I believe something like only 16% of a lot of people in the north of the city go to university now, whereas on a national average we're looking at 40%. What can be done to actually get poorer people who read about coming to university because they can't afford it, to actually get who've got the education behind them, to actually come to university instead of losing out?
I mean, there are many things that one can do, of course. Outreach programmes, encouraging teachers to instill a sense of aspiration amongst young people. But I think the most important thing to do, by a long way, to improve social mobility in this country and to get children from deprived backgrounds into a position where they can go to college and university, pursue their dreams, follow their ideals, fulfil their potential, is by starting young. There is now overwhelming evidence that a poor but bright child will on average be overtaken in the classroom by a less bright but wealthy child by about the age of 7, and that after that point the gap tends to continue to increase between the life chances of someone from an affluent background and from a less affluent background. I mean, don't forget, we're in a city here in Sheffield where a child born in the poorest neighbourhood of Sheffield today in 2009 will on average die a full 14 years before a child born in the wealthiest neighbourhood. So the gap between haves and have-nots in Sheffield is massive, and that gap hasn't narrowed at all under Labour over the last 10 years. And I think the way to do it is to start early. If you can give young children in reception class, years 1 and 2 in primary school, that one-to-one tuition, that one-to-one support, so that the children from the most deprived backgrounds catch up and the whole classroom moves as one, then all the evidence shows that later in life, those children then will develop aspirations to go to college and university, but otherwise they don't. I wrote a book about this, or co-authored a book about this 6 or 7 years ago now, looking at the way that they do these things better in places like Sweden, Denmark, the Netherlands. And the key to that is by introducing what we call a pupil premium, which is basically targeted additional money to children from the most deprived background early in their education, so they get Saturday morning schools, catch-up classes, evening classes, so that you close this educational gap which starts so early in a child's life.
Do you think that we're actually failing people in the sense of social mobility in this country? Over half the people in the legal profession, over half the people in top financial positions, and something like 75% of judges all attended independent schools, yet only 7% of people actually are privately educated. It's a national disgrace, isn't it?
It's a total disgrace, and it's a disgrace which hasn't been addressed at all by Labour. It's one of the great, in my view, stains of shame on Labour's record that a so-called progressive party that believes claims that it's there for working men and working women, for working girls and working class girls and boys, has done so little to close that gap in terms of health, in terms of life chances, in terms of educational chances, in terms of opportunities in the job market. In fact, Britain is almost as unequal, or social mobility by many counts as slow. And I think the kind of things you need to do is what I've suggested earlier, giving real tailored help to children from the youngest age, but also completely changing the tax system, make people at the top pay a bit more, and then using that money penny for penny, pound for pound, to lower taxes for people on lower and middle incomes.
A lot of political commentators have said, Mr. Clegg, that the way for the Liberal Democrats to go forward would be to look to win enough seats to get involved in a coalition government if the general election went that way come May. Is that something that you would be interested in doing?
All I'm interested in doing is having more Liberal Democrat MPs.
Do you think that should be something you should specifically target, though, to actually have a meaningful role if there was a hung parliament?
I'm not in politics to sort of twiddle my thumbs on the sidelines. Of course not. I want to change Britain. I want to be Prime Minister. I want Liberal Democrats in government. But I can't predict to you exactly how and when that will happen. All I can tell you is that whilst we might be the smaller of the three main parties, we now have the biggest national spread. We're present in cities like Sheffield, Newcastle, Hull, Liverpool, Bristol, Edinburgh, cities which we run, where we have MPs, where we will have more MPs in the future, and the Conservatives are nowhere. Equally, we are present in the south and the southwest of the country, where Labour is non-existent. So the opportunities for us to break, and I also think on the big issues of the day, whether it's Iraq or the environment or civil liberties or education or fairness in the tax system or political reform to clean out the absolute rotten system of politics in Westminster, we have been shown again and again and again to make the right judgments. So I'm immensely optimistic, but I'm not going to put a timetable on it. That would be dark.
That's great. Thank you for your time. Thank you.